Hello, 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 and welcome to another Wednesday night Project Healing Water Special. 6 o'clock Central Time, and as I look at my watch, I need to adjust it because it is not quite matched up with the interweb time, computer time. We'll give it a few minutes before we get this show rolling full steam. Give our participants, our veterans, our community, our viewers, subscribers, our friends, our family, waiting for everybody to come on in. If you haven't done so yet, take a second, hit that share button. Hit that thumbs up, that big like. It helps the YouTube algorithms find us. So here we are, happy Wednesday. We are tying our, what did we call it? It's a Timberwolf. It's a pretty efficient panfish pattern. It's great for sunnies and crappies and bass and all that. Sorry about that. Sometimes I forget I got a camera on me. Usually I have it facing the other way, right? So anyways, here we are. Happy Wednesday. We're going to get this party started here in just a few minutes. Who do we have here? I know we got Josh Anderson, and Jacob Simpson was going to check it out, but he's got to go has church on Wednesday night. So, well, the beautiful thing is this will be available for your viewing pleasure later on today. Just making sure everything is streaming properly. So as we tie along here, feel free to leave a comment, say hi in the chat. This is a social environment. We are on social media, be it a video streaming platform. That's one way. We're not doing a two-way video chat, although we could probably figure out a way to do that, although I'm pretty sure there'd be quite the delay, especially with the free software. Well, pitter patter, let's get at her. Let's slide on over to the bench and get this tied up. Alright, so there we have it. That is our Timberwolf. I actually changed my black background out to the green background. So if you have something against green, my apologies. So here we go. We are tying this on a size 8. This is a Mustad 3366. This is the same style hook. I guess the governor is doing his talk tonight. Yeah. Is this a VI very important broadcast? I don't know. I'm sure everybody will be talking about it later. So Governor Walz is our governor here in Minnesota, giving us our directive as far as our stay-at-home status. But, you know, until we start meeting back on our regular Wednesday program, I don't know. I'm going to keep with this. So anyways, here we are. Mustad 3366, size 8. I wouldn't go too much bigger than a size 8, especially, you know, if I'm targeting the panfish. Now, you tie this in a size 2 and throw it for a bass, you might get them excited. So, anywho, here we are. All right, so we'll just go ahead and pop this sample off to the side. There we go, safe and secured. Alright, so what we got going on is our size 8 3366. I like these hooks. Alright, we'll get that in the vise. Oh, and I did talk to most of my participants, but the rest I left a voicemail. Tomorrow we're going on a little road trip. We're going to be delivering some fly tying material kits. They are the hairline dubbing kits, and you know, it's pretty good. I'm excited to just kind of make this big grand road trip. We're going to spend 5 hours in the car driving around, but you know, all of our participants at one point or time, probably a few thousand times, have driven to St. Cloud to participate, and it's my pleasure to make a contact-free, safe delivery of some fly tying material. So here we are. We got our hook in our vise, our thread, 70 denier. I like the wax thread. What can I say? All right, we're going to start that. We're going to lay a little thread base from the front to the rear. Again, we like that wax thread. It gets nice and sticky. Beautiful. All right. Continue our thread all the way to the rear to our main stopping point. We're going to be mindful of that tip. We're going to park that right there. Beautiful. Dale Sanders, Iowa is on. Good evening, Iowa. How goes it down in Iowa? Hope everybody's staying happy, safe, and healthy down there. All right, here we go. So this is what do we got? Fluorescent nylon chenille. This is fine. So compared to, here's just a piece of black, regular kind of medium chenille compared to this finer. So with this, I'm using it to, I don't know, we're going to tie something with some different chenille. So we're, you know, obviously like we typically do, or I've been doing here on these live streams, is we'll tie one up kind of one way and continue on kind of down the rabbit hole, so to speak. Do, how's it going, Dad? So let's go ahead and strip off a little bit of that chenille material, exposing our inner core. Beautiful. And we'll just tie this in. We're going to take one soft wrap to capture it, and a couple of wraps to lock that down. Once I got that secured, I'm going to start advancing my thread forward just a little bit, maybe just a little bit about to that hook point is where I'm going to ultimately end. So even though I got it on this big old card, we're going to deal with it. 'Cause I really don't like wasting material, and if I can keep it on the card, even mo better. So I'm going to take some nice tight touching wraps. And in fact, I like my little rear section to be a little bit bigger, so I'm going to actually come back one wrap and make it kind of a big exaggerated wrap underneath. Then I'm going to take that same kind of cross wrap going forward, working our way right up there. So we got ourselves a nice little egg sac on the back, if you will, a little fluorescent butt, a little chartreuse. If it ain't chartreuse, I'll let you guys finish that. If it ain't chartreuse, there we go. Boom, just like that. All right, up next, we're going to do our body. And for our body material, this actually did not come on the spool like this. This is a recycled spool, so be sure to save your spools of thread sometimes. Then you don't need to save them all. Once you have a few thousand, you can start sharing them with friends or something. But this actually comes in a plastic bag, and here's one that's a holographic braid black. and you know, just put it onto a spool. I have the same stuff in red. This one has a spool tender on it. So this one we're gonna start with the silver, and it's basically a flash. So if you don't have anything like this, you can substitute with some flash, and take that flash and kind of twist it up, bind it up, make it a little bit tighter, and use that in lieu of this braided tinsel, braided mylar. So I'm going to set this down, and tie this in just like so. Soft wrap to capture it, and we'll wrap forward. And we're actually going to go pretty tight to the eye eventually, but for now we're going to stay about an eye's length behind the eye. Eye. I know, I said it. Wah, wah, wah. The Navy guys like that joke. What can I say? Frank's in the house. Good evening, Mr. Frank. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. What are you binge watching now? What's the latest and greatest? Like some of us, we are discovering how to binge watch during these uncertain times. But here we go. All right. And you know, we don't have to rush that process. We can take our time. Charlottesville in the house. Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciates it. Alright, we're going to secure that off. Now, if you have a nice pair of scissors, this is not where you want to use your nice pair of scissors. Use your old pair of scissors if you got a pair. If you have a new pair and an old pair. Because you don't need too fine of a cut on that. And that's not what it's all about right there. Alright, any questions so far? How we doing? Frank is watching Luther. That sounds good. You watch the... Well, see, what kills me right now is this Curse of Oak Island. What? They're never gonna find it. Not with this pandemic happening. Alright, we're up front. Check this out. We are going to grab ourselves, look at this. Some pretty little hackle. Isn't that pretty? This is a hen hackle. You could use a saddle hackle, but we're going for are the smaller barbs on here. And I'm gonna go with this one, right there. Alright, so, you know, kind of like when we're messing around with like deer hair and any kind of hair there, what we want to do with our hackle is we always want to clean and prep it. So what I'm going to do in preparation for this is all this downy junk, right? Even though we're not going to get close to even touching that, I don't know, it's been passed on from generation to generation, tire to tire, but for whatever reason, clean all that junk off. Just grab it and just carefully strip it down. Boom. Just like that. Now we have this nice clean handle. And we see how our hackle is curved. So let's gonna go ahead. We're gonna tie this in by the tip. What we want to do, get this nice and close. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just start coaxing that back, and sometimes here they go. There they are. What people can do is use your hackle pliers. Boom. Grab it by the tip. Now everything is stroked back. It's just going to be nice, nice, nice. Alright, so we got that all tied back. Not the greatest of hackle here, but we're going to make it work. Alright, we're going to tie this in by the tip. 1, One soft wrap to capture it, and a couple more locking wraps. Too easy. And we'll get our thread underneath. NC Doc 100. If I'm reading that correct, thanks for tuning in. Appreciates it. Where are you? Where are you from, mister? I guess that would be North Carolina. That's my guess. Maybe. All right. I got this tied in by the tip, just like so. Here's the top, the front of the feather. Here's the back or the bottom side. We're gonna coax that back. Coax it back. Because when we palmer this, we're only gonna take a few wraps. We're not gonna wrap all this in. That would just be insane. Alright, here we go. We're going to take one wrap. And yeah, be careful, folks, because we got this tied in by the tip of the feather. And if you think a feather breaks often when it's in your hackle pliers and you're holding it by the tip, well, it can be just as exciting this way. Take your time. Wait. Posthumous. Halfway through it. It's hackle time. I don't know why I keep forgetting my hackle time. Maybe that's why I'm struggling with my hackle. Jessica, thanks for tuning in. Alright, so we don't want to go 2 bananas there. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to go one more. One more full turn. And I'm folding these barbs back, especially as I get around that where that thread is on the bottom side. Yeah, that's it right there. Alright, up and to the right, we'll go ahead and secure and hackle down. A few locking wraps. And a couple more with increased tension. Oh yeah, it's hackle time all the time. Alright, we have Mr. Coleman in the house. Thanks for coming in, Dave. Dave says, Aaron, FYI, this pattern came from England years ago. It was called Eric's Beetle, even though it doesn't look anything like a beetle. The guy's name was Eric Horsfalls Turner. Dervent, England. Awesome. Thanks for the history, Dave. It's why we can count on you. Alright, so we got some hackle barbs kind of doing their own thing. They're marching to the beat of their own drum. Well, instead of attacking them so hastily with a pair of scissors so quickly, check this out. We're just going to fold them all back. And I'm not going to build a big head on this. I am going to wrap back maybe a thread's width or 2. Just enough to hold that hackle down. Because if you, for example, if we go back too far, here we go, this is going to be kind of an exaggeration. If you go back too far, that's what you end up with. It's almost like a spider. So keep your thread as we lock this hackle down. Keep it up close, keep it up front. This is a great time to practice not crowding the eye. 1, 2, tray. Alright. Nice and tight. And I think on this one we're going to add a little dab of insurance policy. Just a little dab of glue. And of course we're going to add some of the secret sauce. Some Sally Hansen's. I suppose you could add a UV curing resin on this one, but we're just adding such a, I mean, really, well, at this point you almost don't even need it. If you get really confident, not cocky, but confident with your whip finish. And the only way you can be confident is you have to be honest with yourself. Do I trust that whip finish? A lot of times head cement's really good for a showpiece or a presentation or a gift or something like that. We're going for panfish here, and how long did it take us to get through this? It took us 20 minutes with kind of a jibber-jabber start, and we talked our way through it. But yeah, there we go. That is a Timberwolf, I guess, variation. So what do you think, folks? Let's take a second, give everybody a moment to chew on that, think about it, process it. I'm going to slide over here to the computer and check and see how the chat is doing. Okay, let's do this. All right, so how's everybody doing? Now I can kind of just take a second and focus on the screen. Yeah, this is one of our typical patterns we actually tie. Actually. I'm trying to use my words here. Pretty common pattern for us to have tied at our local Project Healing Waters program. Kind of falls under our when are we going to tie something for panfish category. And this is it. We tie this, and then we also tie the JDK. I wonder how orange braid would look for that body. Well, we're going to find out what a red braid looks like. I don't have anything orange. But yeah, like all flies, imagination is going to be your only limitation. Am I right or am I right? You can tie any fly you want. It's that simple. So, all right, let's see. We're going to continue on. And we're going to go with a slightly different approach. We're going to get to the red one here in a little bit, but we're going to do one with a pink chenille. And I like that black. So we're going to see what this next one comes out looking like. Let's hop over to the bench. Let's get that camera flipped over. Do-do-do. Alright, so Jessica wants to know, do you think the fish are attracted to the hackle or to the yellow butt? Well, what do we think? We got 11 people tuned in. Let's ask the audience. Let's ask the class. Class, what do you think? If you were a fish, what would you be more attracted to? The chartreuse or the hackle? Jessica would like to know. Set this off to the side. Good question. Good question. Absolutely. You probably know my answer. All right. Size 8, once again. Let's see here, get that right there. That's nice. So Billy is tooling up to make law vices any takers. Yeah, I don't know. Dave Coleman says, Jessica, yellow butt or white butt? Well, ooh, Dave. The white butt comes out on the full moon. You know what? I think I got some white chenille. We're gonna go with white chenille on this one. But I don't think it's gonna be... It's not a small chenille, it's a medium chenille, so we're gonna just have to send it. Alright, same as before, let's start off with our size 8, our size 8 3366 Mustad. And I'm coming in with a 70 denier, or it looks like a 6/0 wax thread. Start up front, we'll lay a little thread base. Working our way from the front to the rear. Alright, let's get this going. Alright, continue our thread wraps to our tie-in point all the way at the back end. We're going to go in past that barb just a little bit, and we're going to tie in our chenille. Here's a little bit of medium chenille. So again, in comparison, size-wise, guys, look at that. Alright. See, the thing is Dave Coleman says white, but I do it. So Dave, I'll have to give you, I'll call you tomorrow and give you the lowdown on my sad day of fishing yesterday. Not so much a tale to tell on a YouTube live stream. All is well, though. I'm going to go back just a little bit further. There we go. Nice and tight, nice and tight. So, because I'm using a slightly larger chenille, I'm still going to keep it nice and tight, but I'm not going to go over it, crisscross wrap it, because for me, this enough is enough. Alright, some locking wraps. And trim that off. Alright, so here we go. We're going to come in with our silver braided tinsel. And again, I took this out of the bag, let the braided tinsel out of the bag, and we came in and hustled it around an old spool. And I tell you what, when I first started tying flies, I was as proud as a peacock herl when I finished my first spool of thread. I think I called somebody and told somebody about it. It was a sense of accomplishment. It's like the done pile is full, or you know, I don't know. Tie this in right here. Be sure to get it all the way to that back end, right in line with that tip of that hook. It kind of falls under the reference points of proportions. There are not too many hard and fast rules to fly tying, in my opinion, but I think as long as you keep everything relative to itself and to the hook, I think we're off to a pretty good start. I bet you our friend in England, probably when he first tied this beetle, I bet you probably used something like chewing gum wrapper or something. That'd be my guess. Because if you look at that real close with the actual human eye and not through the lens of my phone camera, looks pretty cool. Bazinga. Alright, here we are at the crossroads. Let's do it. Where did that go? Alright, so this is a soft hackle, a hen hackle. have nice big long ones, but I'm kind of keeping my eye out for something a little bit shorter, perhaps just a little bit wider. Something like this feather right there. Ooh, that's nice. Alright, so once again, just for giggles and grins, we're going to go ahead and just clean off that junk on the bottom. We don't want any junk down in that trunk. We want our hackle to be ready. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, so once we got that hackle basically stripped down, ready to go, get that tip, we're going to tie it in by the tip. And while I do this, let's go ahead and synchronize our watches. Because you know what time it is? Who knows what time it is? I know what time it is. But do you know what time it is? A couple of soft wraps, just like that. Lift that tip up. A couple wraps right there in front. River. Now, Dave, were you out there Thursday by chance, or Tuesday? Yesterday? I saw somebody with a float tube, like we got. I was actually planning on hitting the river tomorrow too. What fly are you throwing, Mr. Dave, if I may ask? What's hot this time of season? Early season smallmouth bass in Minnesota. What fly does Dave recommend? I know what fly I'm going to start with. Maybe that's it. Let's see here. Yeah, I was really hoping to have a good day yesterday on the water, but that just did not come through for me. And I'll give you the lowdown. Yeah. Anyways, after we get that hackle trimmed off, why do I do this? I need to move my bell just a little bit closer. Is it working? Testing 1, 2. Anyways. So yeah, here we are, central Minnesota, early smallmouth bass season. What are we gonna, what fly are we gonna throw out there? My default first fly, depending on what the fish whisperers are saying, I might stray away, but my default would be a Clouser minnow. I think I'm going to start with a plain old chartreuse and white Clouser minnow, because if it ain't chartreuse, it ain't no use. Either that, or I saw today our good friend Craig from our fly fishing club, from the St. Cloud Fly Anglers Club. He had some sort of stonefly, it looked like. He sent me a picture of it, a text, and it says, "Aaron, what is this?" I said, "I don't know what it looks like, or I don't know what it is, but it looks some sort of like a mix between a stonefly and a copper john." Maybe it was just a copper john. A blacked out copper john? Maybe. I don't know. Alright, we're going to add a little dab of insurance policy up front. Boom. Just enough to wet the thread. You don't have to soak it and slurp it up in there. That's a loaded question. Jessica, fly of the day. Chartreuse. Ooh. And we got Also, Mr. Brown and the Slackwater. All right. I think we got flies of the days. Now we talking original fly of the day with the white, or oh oh streamer hatch. That's what we got. All right. So let's go ahead. Yeah. I'll just slide back over here and say what's up to the camera. So now we have, I don't know, 10, 12 people tuned in here. If you haven't caught it yet by now, I've also started doing a live stream. I'm going to start doing it Mondays. And I did my first Monday morning live stream. Very similar to this, but it's going to be a little bit more laid back, kick back, chillaxed. Um, yeah. Calling it the morning coffee. The morning coffee. Kind of wrap up the weekend, see how things are going with everybody while we're all here at home. So let's go ahead and see if anybody has any comments or questions. I kind of like that marshmallow butt. I know if I was a fish, I'd be excited for it. If I was a fish and I saw that fly come by, I'd be looking for a graham cracker and some chocolate. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're gonna put it up to the polls. We're gonna put it up to you guys. We got some options for our next one. We have not tied with. Well, we have virtually infinite colors for our chenille. But what I was thinking is I have a hot fluorescent pink, and I also have a variegated olive. I think that might be an interesting color. And we also have some red uh, mylar braid. We also have some black mylar braid. So let's think of some color combinations. And I'm going to take a quick break. Stretch my legs. Gotta stretch my back. This chair's killing me right now. And I'm going to be right back. So, yeah, in the comments while I'm taking this quick break, let's see some color combinations you want to see this tied in. And, we're not limited to just the black hackle up front. We can stray away from that. So, we'll be right back. All right. Here we are. We are back. All right, let's catch up. What's the hatch? Jessica says, yes, I love FOD. FOD, I see at the very bottom, Billy B.A. is asking what is FOD. FOD stands for Fly of the Day, and that is the name of the fly. And this is an original fly of the day. And it is a very, very hot fly pattern. There are some variations. Maybe, maybe not. Someday we'll be able to tie some of these here. But, I mean, around here, they know. They know. The bass know. The fish know. It's a magical fly. What can I say? Alright, let's get that one pushed off to the side. So what did we decide for color combinations? What did we decide for color combinations? After poor Jess almost lost hers on the bottom. She did go for it. And NC Doc 100 asks, am I twisting the hackle when I wrap it? I do my best to keep it oriented in the same forward direction. So with each rotation of a wrap, you do end up doing one twist of the hackle to do our best to keep those hackle barbs facing towards the rear. So let's get this puppy started. We're coming in with that size 8 Mustad 3366. What we're going to do, secure that in the vise. I don't know if you can hear that. All right, let's come in with our black thread. Again, we're using our 70 denier, a little bit thinner thread. You could use a 140, but a 210 denier I think on this would just be a little bit too chunky. You'd really have to pay attention to your thread wraps and to what you're getting on there. Alright, we'll continue our thread wraps towards the rear. We'll get this all the way towards the back end. I like that. And we got a pretty hot pink. How's that? How's that for bright? And you know you're getting quality stuff when you can see the knot. Baby. But that's why this was in the bargain bin. And that's fine with me. I can work around a piece that's got one knot in it. I'm gonna trim that back just a little bit too much. Expose that inner core. We'll do our one soft wrap to capture it, and a few more wraps locking that in. And if it sounds like the cat's scratching at the door, that's because I believe she is. Somebody's happening. Alright, nice tight locking wraps. And this is a smaller chenille than that white. So, you know, you're at the crossroads here. You can wrap it back and forth to build that up. Or, you know what, on this one, we're just going to leave it as is. We're just going to lock that down. 1, 2, 3 turns, 4 turns maybe. That hot pink chenille. Nice and tight. You don't want that to be loose back there. That's the business end of this fly, you know. Alright. And for giggles and grins, we're going to switch this up to this kind of black holographic. Same stuff as the silver. It's just the braided braided tinsel. Where's my... There it is. So if I don't get that back in there, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to biff it, and that's going to end up all over the place. Alright, choke up on there. Again, if you want to flatten your thread and get it to cheat its way towards the left or towards the rear, spin that bobbin clockwise or anti-clockwise or leftways. Anti-clockwise. Counterclockwise. That's the word I was thinking of. There we go. Wrap this forward. Again, nice, tight, touching wraps. This black is going to come out pretty sparkly. You betcha there. Alright, we're going to hold that up and to the right, and we're going to go ahead and lock that down with a few wraps to the rear. And switch that up. Alright, here we go. I'm going to do one with just a black hackle, and then I'm going to take a look into my bin and see if I can't find a hackle with some pink in there. Kind of accent that back end. But I do kind of like just that plain Jane smart front end there with just that black. Alright, I'm going to go and strip this down just to clean that off. Beautiful. Alright, spin that around. Tip forward. Tip forward. Just coax that all back. I like that, right about there. And you know, you don't have to exactly necessarily tied in by this super tiny tip. If you're not interested in those first few wraps, if you think those are going to be a little bit too small for your action, well, tie it in just a little bit further down and your hackle is going to be just a little bit bigger. But we do want some smaller stuff underneath, because that's what's going to help poof and flare out the longer barbs as we get to those. Alright. Couple of soft wraps. Lock that down. Right there. So right there my thread is directly behind the eye of the hook. Beautiful. Fantastic. Now at this point, I mean, if you wanted to use hackle pliers, you could to hold on to the stem, but I've actually, because I took the extra effort to clean and prepare this by giving myself a nice full length stem, I actually have something to hang on to. Alright, let's go ahead and fold our barbs to the rear. And while we do that, let's synchronize our watches. Sometimes when I fold them back, right when I get them back, I'll give that a little pinch. Alright, here we go. Let's saddle up, everybody. It's hackle time. It's hackle time. is hackle time. Alright, we'll stop. Stop the madness. Alright, so as I'm rotating, I'm twisting this hackle to keep it oriented in that same direction. Keep constant tension in there. Slack is evil. Maybe one more. Because with each wrap, we're adding a little bit of bulk, and our hackle is coming out just a little bit longer. And proportion-wise, I want my longest hackle just to tickle the tip of that hook. Couple lock-in wraps. And we'll take a couple of wraps up front. Keep it from spinning out, losing its place. All right. Blink. This one actually turned out really nice. Really nice. Again, I'm not wrapping my thread back. I don't want to build too big of a head on this. Again, this is a great fly to practice. You're not crowding the eye. Give it a 1-2 tray whip finish. And when I am tightening my whip finish, I feel it actually lock into place. And when it locks into place, that's it. It's not going anywhere. How many times do you have to tie your shoe? And I've read in the Fly Tyers bench side reference, I believe it says three wraps twice. I think the second one is kind of redundant, but you know, you definitely don't have to throw 15 whip finishes on there. Tell you that for free. I kind of like that hot pink. What do you think? What do you think? I think I'm gonna quick raid my drawer for some pink soft hackle. Maybe something chartreuse or something. Ooh. Ooh. Let's go with that. Find a match. We'll find a match. This will be kind of... Oh, we wanted to do our red, yellow. Alright, so what goes good with red, yellow? The original rock and roller. Yeah, buddy. We want to go red. I'm going to do something with the red. Maybe just black. Black and red and yellow. Let's do that. So we need a little bit of the black chenille, and I know I had a little bit of black chenille out of it earlier. Question is what did I do with it? Bench side is my mind. That'll work. We're gonna just go with black. let's go ahead. Oh, let's add our little dab of insurance policy on this. A little secret sauce. And it's just going to be a little dab of Gluia. One little drop of Sally Hansen's, right? And I'm not sure if some of you may or may not remember this little trick, but in the unlikely, because it's never happened to me, in the unlikely event you get some junk in the eye of your hook, find yourself a piece of scrap feather, right? And use that feather to clean the eye of your hook, right? Because if you just try to jam your bodkin in there, it pushes all the head cement out, and then as you take it out, that tip is gone. Cleans it all out. Let's set this upstairs onto our hanger. And we are going to come in with our, we're going to do a black chenille, black butt end, with a red braid, and then we're going to probably just go with our black hackle. And then we're going to do something different for our next one after that. Where are we at for time? It's only 7 o'clock. So yeah, this is one of those patterns that if you're not careful, you can end up tying a dozen real quick. Let's pull out a couple extra hooks there. Alright, so we're about halfway through the live stream. We need to start thinking about, what do we want to tie next week? Well, I think between now and next week, my participants will all have received their fly tying material kits, the hairline dubbin fly tying material kits. And I think I should pick something out of there. And I don't have one of the books near me at the moment. But we'll get there. Alright. Start our thread. Same size 8 hook. Same black thread. 70 denier. 6/0, whatever way you want to call it. And I believe, if my memory serves me correct, I always like trying to remember things. If Dave is still watching, he can correct me if I'm wrong. But when we talk about 70 denier, that unit of measure, I believe, is the strands. It's almost like a strand count. And gosh, I don't know. Copper duns. Nope, we're not going to do copper duns. Let's go ahead and do our chenille. Alright, this is a medium chenille. So when I do my larger material, remember I want to keep things proportionate to itself, so I don't want to go bananas when it comes to wrapping this in. Like I did with the pink, I didn't go bananas on, but the first couple with the chartreuse, I did an additional wrap over top of everything. Alright, nice and tight. And chenille is just like every other material. You can kind of work with it and push, slide the fur of that kind of up and back as you wrap. And we'll just make a little ball. Copper duns for next week. Well, I think we might pick something out of the hairline dubbing book, materials book. And we might do, I've never done an unboxing video or whatever, or review or anything like that, but I don't know. We might do something like that this time around. Just kind of to go over and talk about what came included in that box. What's a good smallmouth bass pattern? I don't want to do a fly of the day. I don't want to infringe on Dave like that. That and I got a few, but holding on to that white mink. Not just white mink. I believe it's a crosscut white mink, and it's the good stuff, as we call it around here. Gram weight. Okay, so there we go. Denier is the gram weight of a 9,000 meters of thread. Huh. And that's why we love you, Dave, because you know stuff like this. Yeah, I wish there was I don't know. When you're trying to figure this all out for the first time, it's kind of when you're learning fly tying and getting into it, and when you're really getting into it, you end up it's almost like speaking multiple languages, and it just gets interesting. Alright, we'll get our hackle. Let's settle up this guy right there. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this hackle tied in. Got a really nice spot right about there. Yes. That's nice. Oh, we love Dave. Dave has been such a inspiration to me. Has taught me lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff. Just when I think I have it all figured out, Dave comes in there and keeps me humble by throwing out some new insights and new knowledge. And when I say new, it's new to me because the knowledge is actually as old as time. And Dave has been there since day one for our Project Healing Waters chapter. I believe I have his since 2008. December of 2008. Dave has been involved with the St. Cloud Project Healing Waters program, and you know, for that, there are so many of us that are just so appreciative of Dave and all volunteers, for all the Daves out there. Because without the volunteers, the machine would never have been functional. Alright, so here's a little trick. I haven't done this yet tonight, but my hackle was getting a little caught up there. And look it, I have this nice little tool called Mr. Bodkin. Let's all clap for Dave. Maybe one more turn or two on here. Turn or two. Tina Turner or two? I don't know. We may not be meeting at the VA, but I still got the same corny one-liners and zingers. There we go. And before we cut it off, because I always forget, it's hackle time. I like that. Alright, so I got one barb doing its own voodoo, right? I want to come in here with my scissors. No. Put them down. Right there. Couple of turns. Again, I'm wrapping on top of the hackle, but not back into that hackle, not onto it too far and deep. For the fly of the day, try a yarn bee for the moment. There we go. All right, so my whole time where I've been doing my whip finish, I've been going up this way, right? Up this way, and then I lay my hook down, my speed bump, and I twist it that way, right? Well, check this out. I saw somebody go this way and then push down. So look at that. There's more than one way to do something. I think it's a little bit harder to pop that off. I like my way better. So there's a black, red, and black one. Well, thank you, Dave. Oz appreciates that too. So, beetles. Ooh, yes, beetles. Let's do beetles next week. We're going to do foam beetles next week. Some basic, easy foam beetles. And guess what? We're probably going to use these same hooks. These size 8s. What do you say? Foam beetles? Thumbs up for foam beetles, huh? What do you say? For now, let's add a little dab of insurance policy on this. Boy, I'm going to fill up my box. One little dab of glue, yeah. Bloop. And let that soak right in. The doc says, thumbs up. Dale Sanders says, very nice tie. And Billy B.A. says the 2222 Club. Yeah, we're not doing the 2222 Club here, not for smallmouth. Not for panfish. I don't know of any smallmouth bass that would hit a size 22 fly. I mean, I'm sure they would. Although I think maybe for a dry fly, we've got those. They almost look like a mayfly, but they're lighter and kind of a grayish dun, like a dun mayfly or something like that. Dave knows what I'm talking about. They're little fluttery things, and it's kind of interesting watching them just show up out of nowhere and just kind of sip it like they're a big fat trout or something. It's like, wait a minute, you're a smallmouth bass. What are you doing? You're supposed to be smashing epic poppers. Alrighty. So, I want to do another white one. We're going to do another white one. There's the hooks, right where I left them. So Dale, have you heard of the fly of the day prior to here? Down there in Iowa? Wouldn't surprise me. It's been the fly of the day has been published in a couple of books. Not books, but magazines. Fly fishing magazines. World famous. Let's take our thread to the rear. Careful around that tip. Tip of that hook. Nothing will smash that thread any faster than the tip of that hook. And I said I wanted to go with the white one. I like the white. Go ahead and take a couple of nice tight wraps. And again, this is a medium chenille, so I'm not going to over wrap this. I don't want to build this up too thick, because as you wrap, although it may not look like it, we are affecting the gap of that hook. And this is, again, one of these patterns that you get a lot of bang for your buck as far as material. Let's go. Alright, so we're going to go with our black hackle up front. I really kind of like that black hackle up front. Oh, wait, no, this would be a good opportunity to go with our yellow. I don't know if I want to use that. I'll use it. I'll use it. Alright, we're gonna go. I'm gonna surprise y'all with this one. Yeah, that's gonna be a pretty feather. Okay, so with that, let's go with the silver because that's gonna be good enough with that. Where did my silver braid go? And that's the thing, you know, it's like here I got my start, obviously, with Project Healing Waters. And, you know, it's like when you don't know nothing from nothing, you know, the guy helping you out, teaching you everything. It's like this world famous fly tyer who is world famous for his epic bass pattern. And there he is, right there. Volunteering every week, rain or shine. Project Healing Waters, helping out the veterans, teaching us how to tie flies and fly fish and become the best people we can be. Nice and tight, nice and tight. Alright, let's go ahead. I'm just going to take the other wraps there. Alright, so now our hackle. What? Look at this beautiful yellow monster. This is going to turn out pretty sweet. I think so. Let's check this out. Get all that junk out of there. Now, if you're feeling feisty and creative, you can use all this extra little bits for something. Well, what that is today, I don't know. It's up to you. The frugal fly tyer is seldomly bored. Alright, so I have to decide, do I want to do this or not? Or do I want to do the yellow with the yellow chenille? Crossroads, crossroads. It's in, we'll send it. My wife is watching TV in the other room, and she knows it's hackle time. So this is a longer hackle, so we're going to have to be a little bit more conscious about our wraps. I'm going to go 1, 2. Where's my vodka? There she be. Take your time. Nice close wraps are one right in front of another. I think that's going to be it. I think that's it. Just a few wraps, little soft hackle. I once met a soft hackle named Timber Wolf. Is it Timber Wolf or Timber Wolf? Hold that all back. We'll get a couple more wraps. Beautiful. Oh, I kind of like that one. I think we're going to do another one, and I'm going to add a yellow chenille. I like that black and yellow. And perhaps I'm going to do one more just because. I think that turned out fantastic. Oh, Jess is watching me. Well, thanks, Jess. I appreciate, and that's what I appreciate about Jess. Family supporting family. And the reality is Jess likes to tie flies, although it's been a little while since she's tied a fly. Maybe we'll have to get Jess tying some flies on our next day off. We've just been so busy. Every day off is just one thing or another. A little drop. So next week, Wednesday, we're going to tie some foam beetles. We're going to do some foam beetles, some easy foam beetles. Frank, if you're still with us, you know what that means. Frank's arch enemy. Good thing though, Frank. Good thing for you, Mr. Frank, is nobody's watching, so you can make them optional. You can skip the legs and no one's gonna tell you. All right, Jacob's back. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. He was here at the beginning, then had to step away for a usual Wednesday night deal, and we're back here. Yes, it has been. Maybe Jess is gonna try to tie some mop flies. I don't know. All right, we're gonna maybe switch it up. I'm gonna take a second and catch up with on this end because I have to step away from that vise every few seconds. Let's go ahead and pop that up and get rid of that. And there we go. All right, so, yep, Frank, we're going to be doing some rubber legs. Oh, man. I'm just catching up on the chat here. So Jacob said he's going to try this pattern out. Jessica, maybe we'll tie a fly up on Sunday. Jessica also got a legs away. Yeah, she's not a big fan of the rubber legs, but I think it's a way to get through that. Let's see here. Frank also says that this one reminds me of a yellow jacket. Yeah, wait till we get the yellow butt on there. That's gonna be pretty cool. Trying to think if I have. I wish I had a gold braid, but I don't. Nope, surely I don't. And then Billy B.A. says, I guess as part of the lacquer the thread as I whip finish. I'm not a big fan of putting the lacquer on it as I whip finish. Maybe if I was doing like a Catskill style dry fly or something like that, and I really had to really get in there, but I don't know. These bodkins are pretty nice, just a little dabble do me. I like it. Steady hands, use both hands. We got to, might as well use them. Bodkin, paid for it, might as well use it. I don't know. I just don't like getting goop and junk on my whip finish tool. So, the mission continues. Let's continue on. I'm thinking a black and yellow on this one. Black and yellow on this next one. And I suppose if you don't have a just a black hen hackle, you could go with a grizzly hackle, or I don't know. You want to keep it pretty small. So if you're gonna go with a saddle hackle or something like that, you really would just want to be mindful of the length of the barbs, the barbs. Boom, 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 and up it goes. Ouch. Hooking device. Bada bing, bada bing. Let that sing. No, can you hear that? Ding, 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 ding. Alright, let's do this. We're going to do our black and yellow. This will be our baskin bee. Joe Bruno, our bass player that I've just recently got turned on to, just started his live stream. So after my live stream, I'll check out his live stream. He has a greyhound, and it's a lazy greyhound, like my old greyhounds. When I grew up, I had a couple of greyhounds, Olio and Cruiser. They were sisters, and they were both retired track dogs, retired from the Daytona track. Let's see here. Trying to pick my yellow out. That'll work. We can end any end. Don't need too much for this. Just a tick. Sometimes I like to grab that little tag end, pull that, and that compresses the chenille fibers up to my thread. We'll just wrap this forward a little bit. And we're going to trim that off just a little bit. Now we're going to wrap this just a little bit. I guess that's why they call it a pattern. Went forward another wrap or two. And this one's kind of thin, but we like it. I'm gonna stop there. Don't overdo it, Aaron. Don't overdo it. Some yellow chenille. I like this one. Beautiful. And then for this one, just to kind of keep it super awesome, we're gonna go with our black holographic braided tinsel. Right up next to that chenille. And we'll work our thread forward. And we're gonna park at that eye's length behind the eye. Eye. And this material can behave a little bit differently depending on how you apply it. You can twist it a little bit tighter and rope it up. Really get like a kind of a segmented look to it, but I like it kind of coming off just a little flat. Alright, eyes length behind the eye. Yes. Well, call it what you want. We're making this one black and yellow. Kind of one of my favorite memes on the internet right now. Kind of making fun of the Tiger King. Is talking about the murder hornets. And then it's got a picture of Joe Exotic and goes, "You mean those Baskin bees?" Hey Joe, thanks for tuning in once again. I appreciate it. And yes, I will see you tomorrow. Making my run. There's our yellow hackle. A beautiful yellow hackle. I like that. So, just like before, let's go ahead and it's like a magic trick. And that's kind of how you almost have to think of that. It's just kind of, if you were a magician, you're just do it. You just have to go for it. Ripping off a band-aid. Ay, ay, ay. Let's get this yellow hackle ready. So now we pull that back. Give ourselves just a little bit of a tip to tie in. And what I do is I set this and I'm pushing down on the bend on the shank of that hook. couple of soft wraps to capture it, right? We'll fold that up and back. And that's it. Just like that. Although I am a little curious about the popularity of black and yellow bee patterns, bumblebees, for as a fly pattern. Now, if I were to guess, if I was a critter living in nature, I've learned to stay away from those things that are black and yellow. That, isn't that kind of nature's warning color? So if I was a fish, why would I want to hit something black and yellow? I don't know. I don't know these things. But here we are. A really good book, good read, is a book called What the Trout Said. And what it comes down to, whether it's trout, bass, pike, whatever you're angling for, whatever your angling pleasure may be, you have to listen to what the fish are saying to you. And what that means is you have to pay attention to, they like this, they like that, why, and when. So, I don't know. Something to consider. Listen to the fish. You can't tell them what they want to eat. They can only tell you. You can have the best steak on the menu in your fly box, so to speak, and those turkeys want tacos. You might be throwing out the world's best tacos, and that fish wants a pizza. Match the hatch. Match the hatch, throw a streamer, throw a popper. What the Trout Said About the Design of Trout Flies and Other Mysteries by Data C. Proper. Great book. Great book. Something I've always liked to say, a fly tyers bench without books is like a house without windows. Namaste. Let's add a little dab of glue on here. Little bit of insurance policy. And just like that. Let it slurp on in. And let's see what happens when we do this. What do you think? What do you think about that? Now that's a pretty fly. It all depends on the background. Pittsburgh Steelers, black and yellow. Yeah. No Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's see here. Where are we at got for time? We got some time. We got about 20 minutes left or so. Carrying this all the way to 8 o'clock because, you know, there's sometimes people, they come and go a little bit later. Let's see, what do we want to do for our next one? I kind of like that black and yellow. Kind of like that. What would be another good color combination? Thank you, Dale. And James. So I got your text, James, just as I was getting this live stream going. I'm still gonna come up right about that 9:30 time slot. You're my first destination of the day. I'm just gonna drop it off, drop and run. But I'll definitely give you a chit chat on my way up. So yeah, tomorrow we are. Actually, let me go grab one. Let me go grab one. I'll be right back. Hold on. All right. So this is what we have coming out. This is the Hairline Dubbin Fly Tying Kit. Top 20 patterns for beginners. It's got woolly worms, nymphs, dry flies, San Juan worm, leeches, looks like something like a Mickey fin, brassies, and fortunately for Frank, there's nothing with any legs on this. So everybody's going to be getting one of these kits. So really good material. Nothing of massive quantity, but it's all fairly decent quality. You know, it's like this is your pack of bucktail. You know, just the yellow northern bucktail and some other good stuff in this. But I just want to get you guys something to tie for sure. No ifs, ands, or buts. So there's 20 different patterns in here, and for me, most of these, you know, a lot of them are basically trout flies. And it might be a challenge for some of you guys and gals that tie small. Some crystal flash. Oh, there we are. Bump, bump, bump. Some rubber legs. But yeah, full size, full things of thread. Some Vivas. Ooh, that's some good stuff. You guys will really come to appreciate this Vivas thread. Although it's not waxed. I really like the waxed thread, but it's pretty tough. Pretty good stuff. I'm really looking forward to getting this out in your guys' hands. The book is pretty explanatory. Alright, let's stop messing around with this because you guys will have plenty of time to explore. Oh, and this was the bonus that came with the thing, was the bead mat. That's what I think is pretty nifty on that. So we'll probably, I don't know, it's up to you guys if we crank our way through that box. 20 patterns. If I did a pattern out of that every week, we'd be doing this for the next 20 weeks, and that's almost a full year. So maybe we'll brainstorm before I drop off these kits, and we'll come up with something. We'll come up with a plan of some sort. You know me, I'm not the greatest at thinking things all the way through. But let's tie another fly. That's what I'm here for. That's what you're here for. All this jibba jabba. Get that back. Alright, we'll take that one out of the vise. I like that black and yellow one. Alright, let's start with a hook. Alright, here we go. Next week we're going to be tying our foam beetles, basic foam beetles, which would be kind of similar to the foam hoppers. I don't see any beetles close by, so that means we haven't tied them recently. San Juan worm, the good old San Juan worm. I believe the San Juan worm was the first fly that I got first fly that I tied out of my kit, my beginner kit when I first started. My first fly I tied was a woolly bugger, and that's why I teach the woolly bugger at the VA for our project, Healing Waters. It's our first fly. Learned so much by tying a woolly bugger. Let's go. Just because I have it sitting out, we're going to do a little bit of blue chenille, a little blue butt. I think you guys can see where we're going to go with this one. I'm going to go with some blue chenille. Now, Dave Coleman, if you're still watching, I think this would be a fun little pattern to tie at our next Fly Expo, in addition to our little blondies. We tie blondes. Back that up just one more. That was too much. I want to leave room for that little body on the inside. Blondie, and we tie it red, white, and blue. Alright, let's go through a little bit of red. So this is the general gist of the Timberwolf. I mean, we started with some kind of common, typical, actually fishable color schemes. The white, the yellow, the chartreuse, that hot pink, with that black hackle with that silver body. Those are your working flies there. You know, we kind of started down the rabbit hole of, freestyling, not freestyling, but going with some different color variations. And that's how I like to do it, because imagination is our only limitation. Just like that. I like it. And I think I do. We've got some white, or white-ish, a white kind of soft grizzly hackle here. Let's just pull it out. We're not going to need the whole bag, the whole pack, because this is probably going to be our last one. So, preview next week, Wednesday, we are tying foam beetles. And this Monday morning, because I have a worldwide audience, and I think if I do a live stream Monday mornings, I catch some people on the other side of this planet at a little bit more convenient live stream time. So here we go. Check this out. Just prep that. Say bazinga to that. I think that's it. That is us. That is us on the bus. Couple of wraps, and we'll get our thread right up front. Beautiful. Nice and close there. Alright, before we start taking wraps, we're going to fold our barbules back. Kind of like this little red, white, and blue one so far. I wish I had maybe went with a red thread, but I did not. So one thing that's we got going for us is I discovered how to change the frame rate and aperture settings on my phone for the live stream, which is just crisscross awesome sauce, because I get to control the lighting just a little bit better. And I think that's going to be it, just like that. Couple locking wraps. I don't know who Davey B. Bada 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 bing. Just like that. Fold those kind of stray barbs out. And we're going to wrap on top of them just a little bit. Just a little bit to just coax those guys back. And I like it. Let's go ahead and whip. 1, 2, 3. So there you have it. There's a little red, white, and blue Timberwolf. Oh, Davey McPhail. I don't think Davey McPhail watches my YouTube videos. However, I do watch his videos. Does a great job. He's got some quality gear, especially when it comes to his recording gear and such. I have a Samsung. I also use it for everything else. I like that. That one turned out fantastic. And Dovadas is on. Probably gonna have a nice 15-20 minute intro. So we'll catch into jump in on that one later. I keep getting distracted with my own thoughts, but check it out this Monday. We have another live stream happening, and I'm going to be attempting to spin some deer hair, spun deer hair poppers. That's what we're gonna attempt on Monday morning. Bum bum bum, 9 a.m. Central. Kind of like the way that one turned out. Here is a sample of a spun deer hair popper. I did not tie this, but this is going to be kind of what we're going to be going after. This is my sample that I'm going to be looking at. What do you think of that, huh? That's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to attempt to do something similar to this Monday morning. So we got our hair stacker, we got our hair packer, we got our shaker, we got our maker, we got our razors. We're going to be good to go for that one. But yeah, there we have it. Let's go ahead and start winding this down. You know, I honestly thank everybody for tuning in week after week. It's been a different type of world, kind of rolling in at a different pace, but we're all in it together. We're not in it alone. That's the truth. And next week, let's meet together here again. We're going to be tying some foam beetles. I like tying some foam beetles, which means I'll have to find my foam. So, questions, comments, concerns, requests, hit me up in the chat, shoot me an email, give me a call. You know my number. You know my number. Yep, I'll see you tomorrow, Frank. James, I'll see you tomorrow. We are 45 minutes before sunset. My lights have turned on. And Josh, we'll see you tomorrow. Left some messages today, but I don't know. What was your favorite color combination of the evening? I'm going to give it a few seconds before we go here, because I said 8 o'clock. We'll maybe not ride this train all the way to 8 o'clock, but let me turn down the happy outro music. There we go. What was your favorite color combination? We have, let's see here, in the vise we have our Patriot Timberwolf. We have our black and yellow Steelers. We have our white with silver and yellow. Our black and red. Our black and pink. White and black and chartreuse and black. How's that for a hook? That's a hook. This little piece is actually supposed to go on the stem of a vise. And I keep it on this big old hook. And I got this giant cork. What do you do? We tie flies. That's what we do. Alright, well, we're going to do this again next week. Same time, same place, 6 to 8 Central. And we're also going to do something a little different Monday morning. So, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate it. Happy tying, tight lines. Hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. And hit that button. It looks just like this. And if you want, what I try to do is I try to put out a pre-notification of this live stream so I make sure I don't forget. In order to do that, and you don't forget, there's another button you can press and it looks just like this. Looks just like a bell. Hackle time it up. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up button. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. We're tying flies. Alright, thank you everybody. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Happy tying. Tight lines. Peace.